Y'all, what's good, Complexz Force gang? We're back with another reaction. It's your boy Marvin, along with your boy RJ. We got another reaction today. Today we have YouTube's most disturbed family channel, which is Daddy05. Pretty sure we did a reaction to, like one of their videos like a couple months ago. But yeah, we're gonna check this video out. You know, a lot of shit happened with them, so motherfuckers gotta get into details. RJ, you got anything to say before the video starts?
Nope.
Alright, let's get to it.
What happens when a seemingly innocent family channel goes astray? If you were to quickly glance at their channel, you might have been none the wiser. It's once you started watching the videos that you uncover something sinister. From a multitude of horrendous footage and accusations, there's no shortage of disturbing things to find. Join me today as we look into the Daddy05 channel and the rabbit hole that appears to have no end. If you're interested in interacting with the Night community, I highly encourage you to join the Discord in the description.
Yeah, we're gonna get our Discord popping too, man. Y'all, I'm gonna make a Complexz Force Discord, Complexz Marvin Discord. Y'all join that shit, bro. We're gonna get our community popping, man.
If social media is more your speed, I also have Twitter and Instagram linked below. Check it out. This is the Invisible Ink prank, the video that stirred up an online catastrophe. It was orchestrated by Mike and Heather Martin and uploaded to their incredibly successful
They'd be taking the pranks too far sometimes.
Vlog channel, Daddy05, later renamed Family05. At the time of its upload in April of 2017, the pair had amassed around 800,000 subscribers.
Damn.
Mike and Heather had made a career out of pranking their 5 kids, and as their pranks became increasingly extreme, their numbers just kept rising.
So you all made me go through all this just for a stupid prank?
The ink prank was the tipping point.
Nah.
The world had suddenly taken notice, and the fallout would see several of YouTube's biggest influencers and even mainstream media leap into the fray.
Apparently, it's upsetting a lot of people. This video, I mean,
It's just a prank, bro.
It's a story with many twists and turns.
Yeah, they shouldn't have took their kids away from them, bro. That's kind of fucked up, man. Like, I don't think it doesn't seem like they were bad parents or nothing. They just took the pranks too far. But you know what I'm saying? They weren't like bad parents or nothing. They shouldn't have took their kids away. That's fucked up.
Which seemed to have gone untold until now. But before we dig deeper into the fall of the Martin family, we need to talk about where they came from. It all begins with Mike Martin. In 2008, Michael Christopher Martin started a gaming channel, The Real Rage Mode. The channel featured the kind of explosive outbursts that would go on to make him famous, just directed at games rather than his own children.
Oh! Hey! Guys! Stop! Emma!
There, alongside gaming videos, Mike also had a series called I'm Bored, in which he'd wander around the house, speaking to the camera. It was the genesis for the vlog-style content to come. This is according to his ex-wife Amy, to whom Mike was married from 2009 to 2011. Little remains of The Real Rage Mode, besides the odd comment from one of the few fans it had. Nevertheless, its description is accurate and spoke volumes about Michael Martin and was the foundation for Daddy05. In an interview with Nick Monroe, former gaming journalist turned blogger, Amy painted a less than favorable picture of Michael. She described him as jealous and possessive, and told Monroe that Mike had claimed to be depressed, have ADHD, and suffer from bipolar disorder. He couldn't hold a job, but had an interest in video creation, Photoshop, and freestyle rapping of all things. His seemingly chaotic nature was the result of his upbringing, at least according to his brother-in-law, James Britton. Much had been made of Mike Martin's experiences as a child, with James believing that the harsh parenting he suffered at the hands of his adoptive mother, Audrey, is the root of Mike's own questionable parenting. She was possessive of her husband and James's father, Charles Britton. James also described Audrey as aggressive when it came to punishment. We won't dwell on that too much here because abuse doesn't justify abuse, even if it can contribute to it. Nevertheless, it's important context to have. Michael's mother went on to die of an aneurysm in her mid-30s, and in spite of her apparent failings, this affected him greatly. In 2011, Mike and his ex Amy split up, and he began dating Heather, having allegedly been involved with her while still married. She became Heather Martin in January of 2014, and on August 13th of 2015, the Daddy05 channel was created. Before we go any further, I want to pause for a moment and let you know to keep going. Life is filled with ups and downs, but you possess the strength to face each challenge head-on and emerge victorious. Trust in your abilities because
Okay, my man.
Michael's sons, Jake, Ryan, and Alex, and Michael's kids from a previous relationship, Cody and Emma. As they continued to create content, the Martin parents noticed a trend. Their occasional prank videos were more popular than their other uploads, and the extremity of the reactions seemed to coincide with the number of views.
They probably,
Here began
some of the videos are probably faked, like to get more views, you know what I'm saying?
Snowball
Like some of
effect,
the
where,
reactions.
in pursuit of more attention, Heather and Michael began to ramp up the intensity.
What?
What the fuck?
I didn't do that!
What the hell is that?
Having found their niche, they were constantly looking for ways to get bigger responses out of the target, whether the one being pranked was the parent or the child. It quickly became clear that one of their kids seemed far more affected by their stunts than the others, Mike's youngest son, Cody. At various points in his young life, Cody is known to have been medicated and in therapy. Even with his apparent ongoing treatment, though, Cody's struggles seem obvious if you know what to look for.
Stop. Cody, alright, medication.
If you set
Bro.
morality aside, his collection of mental health issues make him a prime subject if you're hoping for an explosive reaction. Most of us don't set morality aside, however, and as a result, some of Daddy05's own fans felt the treatment of Cody went too far, even prior to the media circus that was on the way. The culmination of this was the invisible ink prank we showed you earlier, in which Cody seems to be in great deals of distress.
Oh my god!
Do you know how much that...
I didn't do that! I swear.
Viewers found this video in particular so uncomfortable to watch that it broke out of the Daddy05 bubble and reached a larger, less forgiving audience. Philip DeFranco was the one to really throw fuel on the flames of outrage. When his video about the Martins dropped on April 17th of 2017, he brought their questionable content to the attention of a much larger audience. Just days later, YouTube demonetized their channel and removed several of the more egregious videos, though many of their distasteful uploads remained live. The pressure on Mike and Heather was enormous, as their dubious way of making a living had come under threat out of nowhere. According to the Daily Mail, Family05 was making an estimated $200,000 to $300,000 a year. The prospect of that going away seemed to make them flounder. Michael and Heather made several separate apology videos, the last of which was orchestrated by the Falston Group, a company that specializes in PR damage control. Around this time, someone who will have seemed absent to those of you who know the story stepped into the spotlight. Michael's former partner, Rose Hall. Rose is the biological mother of Emma and Cody. She won over the public with her story in one fell swoop, claiming that Mike was unhinged, abusive, and that he and Heather had forged documents to take her children from her. However, the truth seems to be more complicated than that. So, we're going to jump back in time and attempt to piece together the full story, and cover details often overlooked. Now, it's important to establish that when it comes to the Hall and Martin families, an awful lot of what's out there is he said, she said. And even documents submitted to a court aren't 100% guaranteed to be accurate or genuine. We do know for sure that at least some of the documents used against Rose Hall are genuine, because she confirmed as much herself when she said that the Martins had private information that they could only have accessed by stealing it from their home. It's also crucial to understand that none of the following is intended to defend or absolve the Martins. Rather, this is an attempt to cover the story as fully as possible. With those things in mind, let's begin. In August of 2008, Michael Martin broke up with Rose, leaving 1-year-old Cody and 3-year-old Emma behind. The couple had been together for several years prior, and if both are to be believed, their time prior to and following breaking up was tumultuous. Rose allegedly suffers from bipolar disorder, and if these texts between her and Heather Martin are accurate, what Rose called Mike hurting her when she got crazy was actually a case of her being restrained after coming at Michael with a knife. Notably, while Rose doesn't admit to this in the messages, she doesn't deny it either. The Martins also claim to have evidence that Emma and Cody became aware of drug use while in Hall's care, because she and her boyfriend Jim were smoking weed in front of them. Initially, Rose appeared to blame her boyfriend, stating that Emma only saw him use drugs once. She later changed her story, suggesting she knew about drug use because of watching Family Guy and Pineapple Express on TV. Rose and Jim seem to have had a rocky relationship in general, with alcohol usage and domestic abuse being relatively frequent in their household. There's a long list of alleged wrongdoings on the part of Hall, from imprisonment to physical abuse and animal abuse, including some that Cody himself seems to have backed up. We'll get to why, even coming directly from Cody, this too might not be as clear-cut as it seems a little bit later on. Rose made plenty of accusations of her own, prior to the situation becoming a matter of public interest, and some degree of violence seems to have been a factor for both parties, with evidence of Mike being accused of domestic violence, though the charge wasn't brought by the state, and a previous assault charge made against Heather. Their children have been caught in the middle of all of this. In legal documents, Hall accused the Martins of denying Cody one of his medications, which Mike and Heather appealed. She went to Child Protective Services with this claim and did the same on another occasion, after Heather had sent Rose a picture of Emma with a bruise on her forehead. According to the Martins, they did this to inform Hall of a supposed incident while playing in the yard, and weren't expecting it to be used against them. As a result of the picture and a claim by Hall that the incident had given Emma a concussion, there was an investigation into the Martins. The authorities declared the incident a non-issue, and when made aware of the Family of Five channel, determined that the questionable actions of Heather and Mike were corporal punishment rather than abuse. Nothing was ever done. Hall was also accused of lying about having cancer, and Cody supposedly returned from a visit to the Martins covered in bruises on more than one occasion. Hall allegedly made a bizarre claim about two of the boys and their dog in a now deleted interview online, fashioning a volatile home environment, telling the kids they'd cast magic spells to kill a parent, misuse of GoFundMe donations. The list is near endless.
Damn,
and in
bro.
the years this was
That's a
happening,
fucked
there
up
was a constant
situation.
push and pull between the two families regarding who or who wasn't capable of taking care of the children, either due to finances, behavioral issues, or a multitude of other factors. While much of this information isn't entirely conclusive, combined, it suggests a great deal of emotional instability, and more than a few mental health problems on either side of this conflict. It also indicates a tendency to use the children as weapons against each other, with both families frequently being difficult about visitation, taking every opportunity to sling mud at the other, and seemingly to have both Cody and Emma say damning things about each side. The ongoing custody battle was a mess the whole way. When the situation blew up, Rose utilized the forged paperwork claim while Mike and Heather denied it ever happened. Few seem to question the validity of the claim due to how visceral the reaction to Daddy 05's content was. It's understandable though, because the information staring us in the face made it certain that the Martins were not fit to care for them. The issue is that Hall may have not been either. In early May of 2017, the Martins lost custody of Cody and Emma to Rose Hall. Later, a video taken in the aftermath would emerge online. While it's framed as being uploaded by someone other than the Martins, it's hard to imagine that the footage got out there by mistake. Regardless of their strife, the camera never seemed to be far away. In September of 2017, Mike and Heather Martin pled guilty to 2 counts of misdemeanor child neglect.
Damn.
They entered Alford pleas,
So
meaning
it wasn't even supposed
technically
to be recording. That's crazy.
they weren't admitting
The
guilt,
reactions.
only acknowledging that there was enough evidence to convict them. Notably, what they had done was not consider child abuse, which was contentious determination. Instead, it was labeled as neglect without a psychological component, a fact that Michael and Heather are keen for people to know. The couple were sentenced to 10 years each, though this sentence was suspended. In practice, both got 5 years of probation instead. There were 2 conditions. They could no longer contact Emma and Cody outside of court-sanctioned visitation or film the kids for the purpose of posting on social media. Undoubtedly, given the evidence, it was right to take the children away, though whether giving them to Rose Hall was the right decision is debatable. If Rose's father is to be believed, the children were at some stage placed with the foster family, so the authorities seem to have felt the choice to be questionable too.
Yeah.
When they were removed from Daddy 05, the state of Maryland decided to put them into foster care.
Perhaps that was for the best, but there are some who disagree. The Martins still have a small but dedicated following of defenders. After Michael and Heather's attempt at PR failed to achieve the results that they wanted, they doubled down on assuring the public that the videos were staged. Conveniently soon after, videos appeared on a few channels run by supposed fans that seemed to back this up.
The whole world thinks you're being abused, bud.
Well, then I hate the whole world because I'm not being abused. They're being stupid.
They even had an answer for the notorious Invisible Ink prank that sparked all of the drama. Some have pointed to Cody's involvement in other pranks as evidence that the whole thing was an act, as though he wasn't a child below the age of 10 in a family who did this kind of thing every day. The problem with this explanation is that, at least in the eyes of the Martin family, Cody is only acting when it suits them.
You know what I think about them? I think they're just stupid. As soon as I see the camera, I start acting.
Because we've been doing this for a long time, right?
Everybody, you got the best actors in the world.
So, was Cody the Daniel Day-Lewis of child actors or not? He appeared to be whatever was most beneficial to the Martins at the time. In reality, Cody was likely a young boy with some behavioral issues who was easily led by those around him. Videos like the ones we've just seen call everything he said back into question, which means none of it can be definitively called reliable. There are a couple of other clips that are supposed to be definitive proof that the Daddy 05 family was staging their content. This one does seem legitimately staged, but note the YouTube play buttons behind the victim of Alex's thievery. He's another YouTuber, kid behind a camera. What doesn't help is that, in the lead up to this moment, Michael's acting is particularly terrible. If it was always an act, he was usually more convincing.
Stop. No, you better act right. You better apologize and everything. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me.
Both those pieces of footage and this video showing a brainstorming session have the same.
Probably most of them fake their videos, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, angry grandpa, kid behind the camera. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, most of those pranks are probably fake.
Same problem. They're all in collaboration with people outside of the family.
It's like a big old TV show, you know what I'm saying? They did it for entertainment. I don't think, but if they're saying those kids had bruises on them, then I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know enough about this to really make a conclusion, you know. But I think for the most part, these videos were fake. They're still entertaining as hell, though. Don't get me wrong.
Children in front of anyone is a bad idea, never mind other well-known public figures. It's plausible that this video was staged for that reason alone, and the lack of similar videos may back up that possibility. Much of what Mike, Heather, and later Heather's biological son seem to have been doing since the controversy seems like damage control. They've consistently tried to reshape their image and maintain their online relevance in the years since losing Emma and Cody. On July 7th of 2018, YouTube terminated Family 05 and Family 05 Gaming. These channels were their first attempt at rebranding and had amassed around 400,000 subscribers combined before being shut down. Heather created a new channel of her own called Mommy 05, but YouTube removed it as well. The Martins also started a website. The site still exists, but seems barren of content. It's unclear how successful the site has been for them in the past, but looks to be a ghost town now, with a content purge having happened when the suggestion that the site might breach the terms of their probation. One of their newer endeavors has stuck though. Yet another YouTube channel, The Martin Boys, got its start on November 11th of 2018. The About page states that the Martin sons, Jake, Ryan, and Alex, make its videos, but that the channel is owned by their grandmother. It's since changed its name to The Martin Family, and while the boys' parents didn't appear in their content initially, they do now. This is likely due to their probation period having ended. Much of the family seems intent on keeping themselves in the limelight through TikTok, the boys' Instagram pages, and so on and so forth. Jake, now a music artist of debatable quality, uploads some of his tracks to the Martin family. Among the
1.1k dislikes, damn.
typical Family 05 style content. Recently, he uploaded a different kind of video, The Truth Part 1, an apparent late defense of his parents, and an attempt to show that Cody was in on the joke all along. The title suggests there's more to come. Unfortunately, Jake is another unreliable source in a drama without reliable sources, so his take on all of this is highly suspect as well. As the oldest son, he commonly seemed to take on a role closer to that of his parents than his siblings. Jake filmed many of the pranks and appears to have been the core to many of them. Now he has the added motive of dredging up his past to boost interest in his music career. So, the story isn't over, and the Martin family intend to keep it that way. Perhaps it should be, though. Taking a closer look at how all of this unfolded, it's clear that there are no heroes to be found, just some innocent kids caught in the crossfire of a battle they did nothing to cause.
Yeah.
Cody has fallen off the radar entirely, but his sister Emma has reemerged with a message for Mike and Heather.
Hello, this is Emma Marie Martin. I'm tired with the online bullshit, and I would like it to stop. My mother is not a child abuser. Please, Martins, fuck off.
To me, it feels like a message we should all
She
get
don't
behind.
fuck with
Before we hop into the end segment, I would like to have the patron scroll. You obviously don't have to do this, but thank you.
Okay, bro, that's crazy. So she don't fuck with, that's a daughter, I believe? Nah, that's crazy. Yo, RJ, you still up?
Yeah.
What'd you think about the video, man?
I don't even know what to say. I think Daddy 05 wasn't abusing the kids, bro. He wasn't.
Yeah, man, I agree. I mean, I think a lot of those videos were staged back then. I think they're mostly acting.
For some of these lame ass niggas that saying this child abuse, bro, y'all niggas is soft as hell.
Oh God. But,
Lame ass niggas.
But yeah, man, y'all let us know what y'all think about this. Yeah, we're out.
Like,
Peace. Oh wait, you're about to say something?
yeah, this generation is soft, man.
Oh God, that's what I've been trying to say. But yeah, man, we're out. Peace.